Hello and welcome. We're at the track covering the Sport of Kings. Coming up, we have exhilarating finishes to classic races in Jamaica and Barbados. TNT's champion trainer John O'Brien lands the feature race at Santa Rosa Park. We've got the English Guineas races from Newmarket and a peep at the top contenders for Saturday's Kentucky Derby. Let's start at Jamaica's Caymanas Park. 10 fillies went in the Caribbean Choice Jamaica Oaks. The fillies Guinness runner-up 1,000 stars in the one box at 9-2 odds. The second favourite, Robert Halladine, up for champion trainer Wayne Acosta. Number 7 Hotline Stakes winner Fedora is there with Aaron Chatry up at 18-1. 8 is the 11-1 shot Sorrentino Star. And number 11, Garza Brata's Nuclear Affair, a huge 1-9 favourite after the massive Guinness win she had in April. Champion jockey Shane Ellis aboard. In the combox, Bran Rickman sees Nuclear Affair in second, going for the lead, approaching the home turn.
As they run toward the final three in the Oaks, 1,000 stars leads up, and Nuclear Affair now. Satellite begins to gain as they arrive at the 5/16th. These have pulled away from a towering Birdcatcher. Sorrentino Star with a lot to do on the outside, and now Nuclear Affair at the head of the lane takes charge. 1,000 stars getting a tremendous whipping over on the rail. It's Nuclear Affair with the lead. 1,000 stars though is fighting on gamely on the fence. Sorrentino Star in behind. Birdcatcher left out of it. Glider is on the extreme outside, but Nuclear Affair is pressed. 1,000 stars taken off the rail. Nuclear Affair battling to hold 1,000 stars, who comes with a renewed challenge. Nuclear Affair driven to the max, caught by 1,000 stars. It's close, could be an upset.
A massive ride this from last year's Most Improved Jockey Award winner Robert Halladine, coming off the rails and getting the filly in deep stretch to produce a finishing burst that Nuclear Affair just could not repel.
The home stretch was exciting. The duel was very exciting. I was dying for his horse legs and mine horse front legs to separate, so I could switch. So the moment I saw that was the same moment I switched.
What did switching do for your horse?
She did everything that she wanted. She wanted to see the whole of the track, and the horse is inside. She liked it that way, and so said, so done.
1,000 stars gets the upset win by a neck over the 1-9 choice Nuclear Affair. The 55-1 shot Glider third. 2 minutes 12 seconds the time for 10 furlongs. For the fourth week in a row, champion and all-time leading trainer Wayne Acosta gets a feature race win. 1,000 stars owned by his wife Elizabeth DaCosta. To the Garza Savannah now, where their Triple Crown series started with a Barbados Guineas. 8 runners faced the starter. Top contenders, number 3 Banja at 14-1 with Ricky Walcott aboard. Number 4 Sadler's Dream, Rashawn Latchman up at 11-1. Jean-Marc Cozier Stolen, the 5 horse, well backed at 7-2 after her trial win. 8 Steven Allan at 2-1, 9 Poetry in Motion at 5-1, and 10 Northern Star, the 6-5 favourite. Here's commentator Lyndon Yard as Steven Allan positions for a winning run.
And they begin to make the descent towards home. And on the outside, Poetry in Motion sticks her head back in front. On the inside, Kangaroo Jack has called it today. One coming with a remorseless run on the outside, travelling remorselessly well is stolen. They come back to the quarter, 6 furlongs in 1:14 2/5, and they turn for home in the 66 round of the Barbados Guineas. And it is Poetry in Motion clear by left. In between horses, here comes Steven Allan on the outside, stolen, but it is Steven Allan who splits horses and goes on by. Class is class, form is temporary. Steven Allan stolen, Steven Allan stolen, Steven Allan stolen. They come towards the line on the outside, stolen, and Steven Allan too close, of course.
Despite losing his whip 4 furlongs out, Jalon Samuel is resilient in deep stretch. Too close to call, commentator Yard says at the finish, and the photo eventually showing Steven Allan by a nose in front. Stolen brave in defeat under jockey Rashid Hughes. 1:36.80 the winning time. The Sandy Lane Gold Cup winning connections reunited for this fine victory. Samuel in from New York for the ride for trainer Robert Pierce and TNT owner Steven and Allan Madoo. Trainer Pierce now targeting the Triple Crown with a Midsummer Classic in late June and the Derby on the 6th of August.
I'm very confident. If everything stays the plan, you know what I mean. Horse racing, you gotta is day by day, you know, and I really once I can stick to my program and everything goes to plan, I definitely think they'll have to run to beat him.
TNT's big weekend race was the Royal Colours Classic, run in honour of their outstanding 1982 Triple Crown winner, whose 4th place finish at Puerto Rico's El Comandante racetrack that year remains up till now the best ever CARICOM finish in El Clásico del Caribe. Eddie Arnaud has commentary on the home stretch of the Royal Colours Classic.
As they turn for the judge, they are clear of the third horse, and the third horse is mint condition. Then comes Desert Dancer. They come inside the final 300 meters, and here comes Mint Condition and Desert Dancer to put the pressure on the top two. Mint Condition has a narrow advantage over Desert Dancer. Then comes Sargon and Fast and Furious. Mint Condition is striding well, claiming the Royal Colours Classic. Mint Condition, sharp in victory in the Classic, gets the job done by a length in the end.
Karen Kellowan delivers a smart ride and gets the 3-2 favourite Mint Condition home by a length, chased by the 9-5 second favourite Desert Dancer. The SIR Stables owned and Poon Tip Stud Farm bred Mint Condition covers the 6.5 furlong sprint in 1:19.40. Champion trainer John O'Brien follows up his Sugar Mike Stakes win with Trinity Navigator with another solid victory here.
He trained well for this, and I think he has improved quite a bit, because as a 2-year-old as a dancer was a bit better than him.
Away from the Caribbean now, the English Classic season started off this past weekend with the 1,000 and the 2,000 Guineas at Newmarket in Suffolk, the east of England. George Davis has that story.
Hot anti-post favourite Air Force Blue put in an awful performance, failing to find a kick when called on for run by Ryan Moore. Frankie Dettori won only his third Guineas as his charge, Galileo Gold, broke winging and was never worse than second over the first 6 furlongs. So Galileo Gold comes home to give his trainer Hugo Palmer his first win in the 2,000 Guineas in England. Stamina limitations mean the Chestnut Colt could run in the French Derby on June 25 rather than the English equivalent at Epsom. The jockey-trainer combination of Ryan Moore and Aidan O'Brien recovered from the disappointment of Air Force Blue's flop in the 2,000 Guineas to take the 1,000 Guineas on Sunday with the fleet-footed minding in the eye-catching time of 1 minute 36 and 3/5 of a second on the straight mile at Newmarket in the east of England. We picked them up 2 furlongs from home with Ryan Moore wearing the world-famous purple and white silks of owner Derek Smith, asking the first serious question of the Chestnut filly with the blaze face.
Alice Springs is coming after her stable companion on the stand side midweek, and Ballydor running on. It looks a great result coming up for Aidan O'Brien, and Minding is clear. She's 3 lengths clear of Alice Springs, and Minding is too good. She's a princess. Minding wins the Guineas. Ryan Moore for Aidan O'Brien.
So Minding left the field for dead in the last furlong in a performance so impressive that her connections are contemplating sending her to the June 4 Derby at Epsom. Minding won by 3.5 lengths, covering the mile trip almost 3 seconds faster than the winner of the 2,000 Guineas a day earlier. In Minding, trainer Aidan O'Brien appears to have the best 3-year-old in training in England.
And you can see more exciting English racing on SportsMax coming up this weekend with the Victoria Cup from Ascot. Across the Atlantic to the USA now, the undefeated colt Nyquist, seen here winning last month's Florida Derby at Gulfstream Racetrack, goes for the famous Kentucky Derby prize this Saturday at Churchill Downs in Louisville, boasting 7 wins in 7 career starts. The Canadian-owned Nyquist has drawn post position 13, with Mario Gutierrez riding in a 22-horse field. Some of the leading contenders for this US $2 million prize, including Kent DeSormer's mount, number 11, Exaggerator at 8-1. Mo Heyman, 4th in the Florida Derby, is in the 14 box at 10-1 in the pre-race odds. So the year after American Pharaoh becomes the first US Triple Crown winner in 37 years, the fabulous Nyquist starts on the quest for similar glory. We've been at the track covering top stories in the sport of kings. Check us out again next week.